Hello and welcome back to BrokeN Boys. This is episode 161. I'm Colin,
And I'm Mike.
and this week we're going to be doing a little bracket of popular artists, a few artists that we don't talk about very often or at all. So, see what our thoughts are if we have many.
Yeah.
On those, as well as some familiar names.
Yeah, we like some popular artists here every now and then.
Yeah. But before we get into that, how you been this week, Mike?
Been okay. I would just thought of a joke for the pop thing. It's kind of like our pop bracket part 2, soda pop bracket part 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was the extent of that joke. So,
all right.
thank you. And, I've been okay though. It's been just working on stuff. Got some work done on another track that I'm pretty excited for. It still has a good bit ways to go, but I'm really liking how it's starting out so far. It's I don't know. I have to live up to my own standards right now of like some production stuff that I've done that I'm like, why does this actually sound really, really good? So I need to continue making sure that more stuff I add in sounds really, really good. And it's just it's that self motivation and all that. But it's been all right. Been bumping that new TOP.
Oh yeah.
We will definitely talk about that. But
Yes.
I don't really think I did much this week besides those. But I'm playing GeoGuessr. That's my latest obsession, I guess. Man, yeah, I don't have anything written down about my week this week. But I did listen to a few things though. I listened to I was that really this week? I think it was because I don't think I mentioned that last week. But I must have done it like on Friday last week. But there's this tiny desk that Jacob Collier did a while ago, and Jacob Collier live is usually a lot better than his produced stuff because then he's not going as stupidly AJR in his production. He can actually show off his talents. Anyways, in one of his tiny desks, he had like some backup singers. I was like, I really like one of this girl's voices on here, and I looked into her, and I was like, oh wait, I've actually seen her album on Album of the Year before for some reason or something like that. And her name is Maro, and she had a album from last year, I think it was called, oh god, Ortella, I think. It's Portuguese, and like most of the songs are in Portuguese. Yeah, I mean it's pretty good. It's like a singer songwriter vibes. Very just stripped back to guitar, and she has a really like airy voice that's really nice. I like it quite a bit. And then I listened to another thing I liked quite a bit. Pharoah Sanders is like a big jazz guy. I talked about a collaboration record he did a while ago now, called Promises. It's like a mixture of like orchestral and like an electronic producer and also a jazz saxophonist on top of it. And it's like 8 movements long or something like that. And that's a really good record. But this new one, well, it's not new. It came out in like 1969, I think. But it's like, I don't know. It's like really feel good free jazz. It was really really nice. Really cool textures in there. Really fun at points. Very religious, but it's okay. It's the type that makes you feel good, not bad about yourself. So yeah, that was really good. Like that a lot. And then last night, I don't know, man. It was on Album of the Year, and out of morbid curiosity, I checked out "Trip to Brazil" by I Show Speed. Um, yeah, that was an EP that I listened to. Uh, Better than some YouTuber music, I can say that, but not that great. So yeah, there was that. Um, but other than that, you know, nothing too much. Just listening to next semester and all that. Um, I I do have news to break to you, Colin. Though, are you there? Oh, if you're there, I cannot hear you. Um, oh, and he's gone. Oh, and he's back.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi, I hear you.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Were you able to hear me?
I heard everything you said.
Uh,
What's
uh,
the news?
um, oh, not news. Something to break to you. I did partake in the leaks again.
Like, like, what is wrong with why? Why?
I was going to bed on like what the song came out Wednesday. I think it was Monday night. Well,
Um,
Tuesday morning. Um, and I saw it. I was like, I mean, I already bought the album. But I only listened to it once. I listened to it once before going to bed because I wanted that little shot of dopamine, adrenaline, Um, and I listened to it once, and I didn't even pick up on the main theme of the song, so it's okay. Um, but yeah, that's crazy that got leaked though. But
is it though? Because like,
I mean, all of Trench did get leaked like a week early or something. Um, but
are we sure it's just not just Tyler doing that? Like,
oh yeah, there was like a big theory going around that it was Tyler who leaked the song. It's like, why? Why would he do that?
because I don't know, maybe he just wants the music out of him.
I mean,
Sick of waiting.
yeah, but I don't know. um, but yeah, that was something.
Well, I
Um,
did. So
aren't you a little goody two shoes over there?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love 21 Pilots.
Hey,
So.
me too. I'm about to spend a lot of money on them when those tickets come out.
we finna be in the pit.
Yeah, we'll see. Depending on those prices, I'm not gonna lie. I've been seeing some scary numbers for that. Uh, I'll see.
I'll go a little broke for it. I'll go a little broke for it.
um, but yeah, I guess that's really all I have in terms of things I did, aka nothing. How about you though? What's your week?
It's been okay. Just been working, schooling. I've lost pretty much all motivation for school.
Nice.
Just trying to coast. Had a paper due tonight, and I hadn't started it at all.
Like
But
currently still haven't?
yes, and but when I was at work earlier, I got an email, and it was like, I moved the due date to Tuesday, and I was like, hey,
He
I'll
got you.
take it. And I mean, to be fair, he's very slow at grading, and probably won't get to this paper till like the middle of the April. So,
Nice.
um, I probably would have been fine turning it in a little late anyway. Um, but I was just like, I I can't, man, I can't do it. Like
Yeah.
this week, we were uh, we were supposed to go to like this museum in town to like for class, and I was like, and on Monday I was like, I have some other schoolwork to do, and I have work at 4, and class ends at 3:15. So it's like I don't know, I think I can skip today, but I'll go on Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
and so I went on Wednesday. And I was expecting, oh, maybe we'll walk around the museum, look at stuff. That'll be cool.
Is that fire
Um,
alarm?
no, just a car.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's nice out today for the first time all week, so I have my window open.
How
Um,
dare you?
I'm so sorry. But yeah, I went to the museum. We went to the museum again. I was like, cool. It'll be cool to see this museum. I've never been here. Never really been to town. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then all we did was get lectured in a room in the museum,
What?
like normal class. um,
Oh, you mean just like a lesson there?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought when you said that, for some reason I thought you meant like you got like lectured and like you guys did something wrong or something. I
No.
was like, what?
No, he just did a lecture, like a normal ass class inside of a museum for some reason.
So it's like
Probably,
changing your Zoom background except a little more physical.
yeah. And like I get it probably because like he was taking out documents and stuff that he probably didn't have access to outside of the museum.
Mm,
But it was still like, dude, this probably could all be found online.
yeah.
But it was pointless, and I've never been there before, and I was like, uh, I was nervous the whole time, like I don't like parking on streets like that, and it was like it
Oh
was
yeah.
90 minute it was 90-minute parking, but I was still like, can I park in the wrong place? What am I gonna get towed? Am I gonna get
Mm,
a ticket? So I was nervous the whole time. Everything was fine when I got out, but it was
yeah.
still like
I
that was a whole waste of an hour.
yeah. I feel that
um,
nervousness though. I get that. I get that too.
yeah. But I was just, God, what a fucking waste. Then yeah, other classes are fine. My education class, we had to read another book. Um, the paper for that was supposed to be due on Sunday, but she was like, "You guys want me to move that?" And we were like, "Yeah, yeah."
I feel like
But
that's a
like
question
she,
you ask knowing the answer. Yeah.
well, she was like, well, she was like, I just figured, like, you read the book and you prefer to like get it done and over with out either way. And it's like, yeah, I get that, but like, we have to read a whole book in a week, so it's like I don't really want to work on a paper. Um, and it's like somebody brought that up. It's like that's a lot of reading in a week, and she's like, well, yeah, but you've had the assignment since January, and it's like, who do you think is working for that far ahead?
Yeah.
Who do you think is reading that book in February or March or beginning of March at least and getting that done and over with
I will
that
say
soon?
I knew some people who were crazy enough to do that. If like assignments were open that early, they would try doing them all in the first couple weeks. Um,
Sure.
but that's not most people.
No,
Not even close.
that's none of my class. It's
Yeah.
none of that class. Nobody in that class has done that. Will
That,
do that.
it's a rarity for
So,
music nerds.
but it's just like, damn, dude. Like, I know it's been a while since you've been in school, um, professor, but mm, well, maybe not that long. She's in her 40s and she
Oh.
got her PhD and her doctorate and everything. So like, she's probably been in school sooner than could I could say. But like,
Yeah.
it's like none of us are gonna do that.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I didn't really listen to anything this week. I half listened. I like listened to half of a couple albums and then either lost motivation to go through it or just forgot about it.
Yeah, it happens.
Um, I listened to half of that one album that John wanted us to listen to.
Oh yeah. Shit, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Uh,
Sorry, John.
Mika's Laundry. So far, it's good though. It's a lot of different styles
Hmm.
mixed together. I like his voice a lot. It's good. But yeah, I'll get to that this week. And then I like listened to half of "We Don't Trust You" by Future and Metro Boomin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and first few tracks are good. Some of the stuff just isn't for me, but
Yeah.
so far at least. But I like that a lot. Kendrick's verse was banging, so
Yeah.
um, you know. Yeah. I've also just been listening to Next Semester and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, that's about all I got. Mm.
That's okay.
I did listen. I did listen to the Hosier EP, but
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I guess that counts. That's good. Um, I get why none of it ended up on Unreal Unearthed. A lot of it was just like did not fall within the theme or anything. Two Sweets, really good, really a really fun time. Um, and the second song on there with the feature is pretty as well. But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
But yeah,
Yeah.
some like news this week. There was a couple things that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that that bridge in Baltimore.
Yeah, I have
Uh,
that on my list too. I was awake when that happened. I was see-
oh
I was
yeah,
seeing the live updates of that.
yeah. That was a. I got to class, my education class, and the professor was like, "Have you guys seen this?" And we were like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, this bridge in Baltimore just got toppled by a fucking boat." I
Yeah.
was like, "What the fuck?" So we saw a video of it, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's crazy."
Yeah, at least yours my introduction to the story wasn't as pleasant on my end cuz some like Andy, my neighbor who's in our Discord group, he just like sent a message saying like, "Oh my gosh, a boat hit a bridge in Baltimore," and I was like, "Oh man, who won?" or something like that. And then he's like, "Dude, that's fucked up. People probably died." I was like, "What do you mean?" I looked it up. I was like, "You didn't tell me like a giant bridge collapsed. You just said a boat hit a bridge." I was like, "I didn't." Oh my gosh, I, I felt like morally bad after that. But,
You
um,
didn't.
yeah, but he just phrased it like so nonchalantly. Um, yeah, that was pretty crazy though. I mean, I was watching a lot of that footage and stuff, and um, they're saying right now that only like six construction workers died in it, and like that's obviously still awful and horrendous. But considering that it's like a 1.6 mile bridge or something in a giant city, that is also somewhat like it could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
um, but yeah, that was pretty crazy. And I was seeing a whole bunch of maybe you were seeing this too. So many brain dead people on Twitter, like saying like, "Oh my gosh, we're sending money over to all these countries fighting their wars instead of our own infrastructure." It's like, yes, our infrastructure isn't great. Our infrastructure doesn't cover a boat smashing into a bridge at full speed. Like that's
No.
like that has nothing to do with our infrastructure. It's like, bro,
Yeah.
what are you talking about right now? That's a different conversation completely.
Yeah. Seriously. What the fuck?
And some people were saying like, imagine after 9/11 happening, just being like, oh my gosh, our infrastructure on buildings isn't great. Like it's like that's not supposed to happen. Um,
Just crazy how fast it fell. Like,
yeah, it was pretty like instantaneous. Yeah.
I know it's just like a suspension bridge, and that makes sense, I guess. But it's just like it was like a couple seconds, and the whole thing was down, and it was just
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Yeah, and I didn't know this until today because my mom and I were kind of talking about it when we went out to dinner. But I didn't know that like the boat was like still there, like in a place because like they literally can't lift the bridge off of it. Um,
Yeah.
so like it's still sitting there. And like yeah, they're like they got like the biggest crane in like the east or something like that, and they're trying to find ways to like split it up so that that crane is able to actually lift the bridge off of that
Jesus
boat.
Christ.
Like it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
is. How did that happen? Like, how did? I mean,
Apparently they lost control of the ship somehow. I don't know. I didn't really look into that part of it too much. Um,
that's just. I mean, like, I saw that they were able to send like a mayday to like to people so they could make sure it was like closed off for like people driving across it.
yeah, because I think the boat started like flashing lights or something like that.
Yeah.
I think they knew that was about to happen. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
That's crazy.
That was crazy.
And then I have P Diddled Children.
Oh
Um,
yes, yeah,
yeah, P Diddy had a couple mansions raided because he was thought to be or had evidence against him as to him like running or being a part of a child sex trafficking ring.
yep.
and he fled the country. So that's that's not very
Not
not
very
very
pog champ. Yeah.
not a very good look for P Diddy.
Nope.
Yeah, I never had any connection or listened to any P Diddy music,
Me
but
neither.
obviously he's a big character in the music industry, so it's just crazy to see. That's also another thing that was that I learned in my education class because my professor was like, "Yeah, so like we can't listen to anything now, I guess." She's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, but one of my favorite songs with my friends in college was a song by R. Kelly,
Mm.
and like, do we listen to that song once a year when we all get together? Yeah, but we don't. We
Yeah.
don't like it. Um, but it's just like, dude.
Yeah. I saw a funny TikTok earlier today of someone listening to Kesha's TikTok. Uh,
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's just like it's
was
like
it that Tony guy? Tony said
I think so. I don't know his name.
long
But
hair and beard. Yeah,
yeah, him.
yeah, that guy's great.
But yeah, just like listening to TikTok nowadays or whatever, just sitting in his car, wake up in the morning feeling like, and then just turns down the volume, and then turns it back up for the next part of it. That was really
Yeah,
good.
yeah, he's great.
Yeah, I've seen his stuff before. I just don't know his name.
But yeah, that was crazy as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then there was a pretty big release this week. GeoGuessr added another country.
Oh shit! What they had this time?
Guess.
Uh, Turkmenistan.
Nope. It was the well-known country, just as big as Kazakhstan, of Sao Tome and Principe.
Oh
Um,
shit!
I'm actually not entirely sure if that's how you pronounce that, but that's how I always do it in my head.
Me too.
But yeah, small island in off the coast of Central Africa, I guess, east of it, west of it. um, I don't mix up my east and west. What are you talking about? And yeah, so that good news for all us GeoGuessr gamers out there. Um, but there was also is there any other news besides
I don't think so. That's all I got, at least.
yeah, cool. Well, yeah, then also next semester, newest 21 Pilots
Yeah.
single dropped on Wednesday, 2 days ago from recording this podcast, and
Hmm.
I've listened to it a lot. Yeah.
Me too.
What I guess what are your thoughts on it first?
I I'm a big fan. I don't.
You like 21
At first I
Pilots?
was like, yeah, actually.
Wow.
Um, at first I was like, yeah, this definitely isn't as good as Overcompensate, but I like it. And then I listened to it over and over and over again. I was like, actually, this is hitting me really fucking hard. Um,
Yeah.
um, the lyrics, it came out. I was in I was in bed before class. It was like I don't know 9 or something,
Hmm.
and like I woke up. I was like laying in bed with Max, and I I opened my phone, and the first thing on Twitter was like, next semester's out now," and I was like,
Yeah. Scrambling, throwing your phone all over the place.
what? And I was like, and I didn't say anything. I just started the video.
Yeah,
Uh,
foaming at the mouth.
and like the video is great.
Yeah.
I love the feel of it. It's got fans in it. Um, it's yeah, it's great. It really it really hit me. I don't know, just like the the lyrics, just in general. I was like,
Mhm.
oof.
The lyrics felt very much like something that was written like during Vessel era or earlier. Like it's
Yeah.
like in terms of like the bluntness and like the imagery and stuff, it feels very like pre-blurry face stuff, which is cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just and Tyler sounds great on it. I
Yeah.
love like guitars in the background, the singing on it, especially in that very ending
Mm-hmm.
part. Gorgeous. I love the whoa,
Yeah.
that part, really great. The fucking, I was telling Max, I was like, I could see this at a concert because they like to do like the Tyler likes to conduct the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, he's gonna have like one part of the crowd do that singing part, and he's gonna have another part of the crowd
Oh, you're
do.
so right.
He's gonna have another part of the crowd do. Uh, uh, can't change what you've done. Try, and then the whole thing, the end is gonna bring everyone all together to sing new fresh. Try the last part.
Start fresh next semester.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, he's gonna do this. He's gonna do that. I can see
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah, I think you honestly might be onto something there. I really, that does sound exactly like what's gonna happen there. What was the song he did that for with before?
He did that for My Blood.
My Blood. That's the one I was thinking of. I think he has done that for a few others, possibly too.
Yeah,
But yeah, the My Blood one was definitely the one I was thinking of. Yes.
yeah. But yeah, I was like, damn, that's really good. So I love it. It's really grown on me the more I've listened to it. I love like the punk rocky feel.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I love it too. I don't think I love it as much as Overcompensate, but I do still love it a lot. Um, and I think it's very revealing as well.
Mhm.
Um, Basically, the whole basis of the song and the music video is kind of about like a suicide attempt via standing in the middle of the road and getting hit by a car. Um, and at first I was like, oh well, maybe this doesn't quite this is for lore reasons or something.
Yeah,
But like really, the more I started thinking about, it, I'm like, this like recontextualizes a whole bunch of their previous work.
yeah.
To the point where I actually made a thread on Reddit about it because I just wanted to put a whole bunch of stuff there.
Mhm.
Um, and I can read that out loud if you'd like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but well, I get okay. Just for my opinion on the song, I do like the song a lot. I love the chorus a lot. I love the outro. The verses, somewhat a little so on, but I think that's just because me and punk rock and pop punk and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I do still like the energy a lot, and I love that Josh Dunn's able to play on pop punk because I know that's like
Oh
his.
yeah.
I know that's his lane right there. So I'm sure
And
he's
also, before you before you get into your thread, speaking of
yeah.
Josh, there's just that one shot in the video where he's fucking his drums. Um,
I guess I don't know what shot that is.
it's it's like an overhead shot. He's like he's hitting the kick drum, but he's like bouncing forward a little bit, and his
Oh,
face, his mouth is slightly agape in his mouth, or his eyes are closed. It just looks like he's fucking his drums.
I guess that's the
Um,
shot you were talking about in our text before.
yeah, yeah.
I'll have to look out for that.
I was watching the video for the first time, but I was like, "Why is he fucking his drums?" And Max was like, "What?" I was
man,
like, "Look at
man gets into it. I don't know what to tell you. Um. Anyways, yeah.
this."
But yeah, the whole thing about the song that it reveals is like a suicide attempt via car, probably during college for Tyler. And yeah, I made a whole thread of things that I think are related to that and can be viewed differently. Um, some of these I came up with myself, but some of them I also stole a little bit just because I saw them and I wanted to put them in one place. But the obvious one is the Heavy Dirty Soul music video, with that whole music video being set in the streets and then a car coming towards them driven by Blurryface and
Mhm.
almost hitting them a whole bunch of times. But I felt also the lyrics in the bridge, death inspires me like a dog inspires a rabbit, aka, running or hopping away from death. I think
Mhm.
maybe could also relate to that in a metaphorical way. Um, a car, a torch of death. Very on the nose with the name there again, um, relating to cars and all that. But then also the lyrics, I begin to envy the headlights driving south is on there. Um,
Mhm.
and then I'll take the grave, please just send them all my way. Could be referring to cars there again too. Uh, Jumpsuit. This is one of my favorites that I thought of. In the jumpsuit music video, do you remember that part where Nico's like running on the horse like towards Tyler, and
Yeah.
Tyler's like closing his eyes, like ready for it to hit him or something.
Yeah.
I really feel like that could be a metaphorical representation of that. Um, Taxi Cab, I felt a lot of parallels to.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
because I mean, like the name Taxi Cab, obviously car, but also a lot of the lyrics felt very connected. Like I prayed those lights would take me home in next semester to Don't Be Afraid, We're Going Home on Taxi Cab, and then
Mm,
also the whole like can't change what you've done, start fresh next semester. Reminded me a lot of the, we're driving towards the morning sun where all your blood is washed away and all you did will be undone. Um,
mm,
which also relates to the nighttime and, turning morning and all that kind of stuff as well, too. Um, yeah, and then Truce, the music video for Truce is just Tyler playing a piano in the middle of a street. Um,
mm,
so there's that. And then Fake You Out, there's the lyrics, In the night, headlights call my name. Um,
mm,
There's that. And then this is also one of my favorites that I don't think I've seen anyone else talk about, but I actually really feel a lot closer to now. Glowing Eyes, a song off Regional at Best. I really feel that glowing eyes could be a metaphor for headlights. Like,
mm,
um, it's pretty much kind of the same thing a little bit. And then, it gives new context to I know there's someone at the door. They called for help of this, I'm sure, but do I want to say goodbye to all the glowing eyes? Could really be
mm,
referencing that. And then also right before that, we get mentions of the nighttime and mental health. We live for the night's decor. It reveals what we dream of. Got all that. I'll just do a couple more because then I put a bunch that are just like really loosely connected. But in Lovely, there's a little breakdown where he goes, "I'm coming clean. God hit me straight on."
mm,
And that's also another song that strongly features "Stay Alive" in the chorus. Won't you stay alive? Um,
mm.
and then the last one, I completely stole this one from Twitter, but like it's got to be an obvious reference. Goner, the old Goner music video that's like him and like the accordion. Um,
Oh yeah.
he's like standing on a snowy street, and or he's standing on the side of a snowy street, and in the middle of the snowy street is tire marks that are going straight through it, and then his footprints stepping off to the side of them to like where he's performing the song. And it's like I don't know, like I just find it so. It was just like a eureka moment when like this was, talked about in the song that like Tyler may have had this attempt in his life. And it's like, holy shit, that's been something he's been like referencing in one way or another, I think, for like their entire career. It's just like really, I don't know. I find it fascinating just how much that recontextualizes some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never talked about. He's always talked about mental health in a way, but he's never been this upfront and
Yeah.
personal about any of it. And for this to be the last album in this cycle of the story, it's like to get this much of a personal look into Tyler's life, into something that has probably had a big impact on a lot of the music that they've put out over the years. It's just like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like it means like a lot.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
this is one of like this. I feel like this is going to be one of the songs that like people connect to the most.
Yeah.
People can find solace in the most. Because he's always talked about stay alive, try again, it'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like you know to give people this look and to make I feel like it's going to make a lot more people feel seen and feel um, just even more um, in just feel like this band is for them,
Yeah.
and it's really just all they've done is just make sure people are seen, make sure people are okay.
Yeah.
They make
People are heard.
music for
Yeah.
people who
Absolutely.
are in this headspace. So it's like, it's good to see.
Yeah. I completely agree. It's one that does grow on me more and more the more I think about it. And like the more I, think of its importance and everything. So like maybe it'll grow overcompensate for me. But yeah, I don't know. It's a great song though, nonetheless, and I'm
Yeah.
super pleased with it. And I'm really interested to see how the rest of the album pans out. Hopefully, just as good.
Yeah.
um,
The run times for the tracks came out as well.
right, right.
6.5 minute closer, Paladin
Yeah,
straight. Um, Getting ready to be destroyed there, but
yeah. Basically, everything's around that 3.5 minute mark, but like that closer 6.5 minutes. Oh man, I saw that. I'm like, bro, what are they about to
yeah,
do?
yeah, it's gonna be a movie.
I
But
hope we
I
get
mean,
post rock 21 Pilots, Black Country New Road inspired.
Black Midi 12 Miles. Um,
That would be something.
it's yeah. I'm in love with this song. I love it very much.
Yeah.
The just that last part where he's walking into the crowd with the ukulele.
Hmm.
It also car radio
Yeah.
is another one that could be connected, but like that part of the video um is reminds me a lot of the car radio video where he's walking in the middle of the crowd.
Right.
But yeah, I love seeing people's theories and everything, but so many people are like reading too far into things.
Yeah, I did that a
Like
little bit, but
there's this there's this shot in the video where Tyler has his arms out
oh
and
yeah, yeah,
the camera's on top of him a little bit, and people are like, oh my god, and they put like the self-titled
yeah,
album cover, and it was like, guys, it's just a shot of him with his arms out.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's not a parallel. It's just a picture.
See, at least when I say something like glowing eyes, it kind of makes sense.
Yes, yeah. See that I can see,
Yeah.
but yeah.
No, yeah, I was seeing that too. It really that one yeah, yeah.
But yeah, just and then the Clancy World Tour was announced alongside
Hmm.
that that song. The tour dates came out. They're hitting Chicago twice,
Hmm.
um, on October 1st and October 2nd. Tickets go on pre-sale on the 2nd of April. So I'm supposed to be in class, but I'm finna be in the pit. So I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very excited though.
Me too.
Um, I texted Dane. I was like, I know Mike said that you were thinking about going, so I sent him the link to the
Hmm.
tickets to sign up. And he's like, which day? And I was like, I did both just in case.
Yeah, I did too.
Um, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, I'm kind of sad they're not playing smaller venues. I'm like, yeah, me too. But like that specific tour,
Yeah,
so
that
that's
was like a one time. That was really special that we got to do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I'm in love with next semester. Go check that out if you like pop punk or if you've or pop or punk rock. And
Hmm.
yeah, check out that video. Very good. Second of the 13, 14 videos we're getting for the album. So
Yeah.
I've also been liking seeing a lot of people just posting pictures of them popping up places and doing
Yeah,
videos.
there was another one of Josh on a like a bridge in a
Yeah,
road. They're just like, is that Josh? Oh my god, it's Josh.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there was one where they were like at a lemonade stand or something. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, and Jenna was there, and I was like, oh, that's probably for the Craving Jenna's version.
Oh, it could
Um,
be. Yeah.
and then there's one where they're just in suits,
On the
and you
side of
sent
the
me a
street.
funny.
Oh yeah.
You like can't wait for their what was it? Their version of High
Yeah.
Hopes or
The
whatever.
recreation of the High Hopes video or something like that. I was about just the city street and them in the suits. I was like, hey, it's High Hopes.
But yeah, um, very excited.
Yeah. Yep. Me too. All right. Well, we
End of
should
the
probably.
month.
Yeah, I was gonna say we should get into the first part of our theme for this episode. Do a little monthly roundup. I'm guessing I have a little bit more than you, just from how we've talked
Yeah.
about music. So
I think I have 3. So
cool. That's okay.
yeah,
I'll forgive you. No. But yeah, the first thing I listened to this month was an album called Kyogen by Ado. It's a J-pop, Japanese artist. Um, wasn't really a big fan of it. It was something that my friend Daniel told me to listen to, and he never gives me albums, so I was like, I should give it a try. Yeah, it was basically, American style trap and all that kind of stuff, but mixed with J-pop, and it was fine, but it was also kind of annoying. It was just kind of whatever. I gave it like a really strong five.
Great. Actually, I have four. I forgot about one. But that first one I listened to was "Loss of Life" by MGMT.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I haven't revisited yet. I do want to. But what from what I can remember, I liked it a lot. A bit different from the only other MGMT album I listened to, Little Dark Age. Um, but a good time nonetheless. Good production, good singing. Uh, I have to look at the album to see what songs I liked on it. But one, and two here. Uh, I liked Loss of Life Part 2, Mother Nature, Bubblegum Dog,
Mm,
and Nothing to Declare. Um, but yeah, I do want to revisit that one. Good stuff so far. I think on first listen, I gave it like a decent 7 or whatever. Until I re listen to it again, that's where it is.
nice. All right. Next thing I listened to was "Girl with No Face" by Ali X. It's a synth pop record that was getting some good traction on album of the year. And I listened to it. I liked it. I wasn't as crazy about it as a lot of people. It's very like 80s feel, very synthy as you would expect. But I don't know. It felt a little repetitive to me and didn't quite capture me as much as something like a Magdalena Bay does or something like that. But I still thought it was pretty fun, and there's some really good stuff on there. I liked Black Eye, Girl with No Face, and Galena. Think those are all pretty good. But yeah, I give it like a light 7.
Cool. Next thing I listened to was Everybody Else Is Doing It, So Why Can't We by the Cranberries. And I really liked this album a lot. It caught me by surprise. The only song I'd heard previous to this, well, to my knowing that it was the Cranberries, was "Zombie,"
Mm.
um, and I liked that song. But this album, it was very good. I like the vibes on it. The singer's voice is very good and iconic, and very Irish. But yeah, I'll probably revisit this one as well as listen to their other stuff. But for now, I liked Linger. I liked Waltzing Back, Dreams, um, and Put Me Down. But I think I give it like a solid 8. It's a really good album.
Cool. Yeah, that's one I should check out as well because I did like that song that you chose for Song of the
Mhm.
Week.
Yeah, I
Um,
think.
yeah. Next thing I listened to was "De Todas las Flores" by Natalia Lafourcade. It's a singer-songwriter type of album. It's all in Spanish. I believe she's from Mexico, I believe. And yeah, it's kind of like I was talking about with that Portuguese album, which I'll get to again. But just really pretty vocals and guitars. But on this one, there's like some string quartets in there, and there's like other instruments that are just produced so well. This thing in headphones sounds fantastic. It's
Mm,
just it's got some darker vibes, but also has very very pretty vibes in it. It's a really nice, beautiful listen, and I like it a lot. So yeah, I get some of my favorites on here are "Canta la Arena." Hold on, "Canta la Arena." Um, there we go. I also liked Muerte a lot and Pasan los Dias. I remember liking, and when they're in Spanish, it's harder to remember which one's which. But there's a lot of really pretty ones on here that I like a lot. Oh, and I like the title track "De Todas las Flores" a lot too. Um, but yeah, I like it a lot. I gave it like a light 9.
cool. Next thing I listened to was "Where We've Been, Where We Go From Here" by Frico or Freco, however you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I liked this one a lot too. It saw it on Album of the Year. It was one of the highest rated ones, and I was like, yeah, I'll check that out. And yeah, good vibes, good um, production, reminiscent of stuff like Arcade Fire and Sufjan,
Hmm.
like I had said previously. Um, yeah, it was a good time. I haven't revisited this one either, but it's probably one that I will, um, as I get away from the school year and just start actually doing things I enjoy.
Yeah.
Um, but for now, I liked Where We've Been, Crashing Through, Chemical, Statues, and Cardinal. Um, but yeah, I think I give this one a decent 8.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Next thing I listened to was the Travis Scott discography. We did that for last week for our song of the week, or song of the week, for artist analysis. I know our segments, um, and I do have some new respect for Travis Scott that I didn't have before, but also at the same time, I do think he's maybe slightly overhyped. Not quite for me on everything, but I did like Rodeo quite a bit. And there were some really good highlights on Astroworld and Utopia as well, even if I thought the projects as a whole were a little more on the mid side. But yeah, I think I gave his whole discography like a decent 6. If he wants more in depth opinions, go listen to last week's episode.
Yeah. Um, and the last thing I listened to was also the Travis Scott discography. I liked it a little bit more than you did. I thought it caught my attention more than I thought it would, and I enjoyed myself more than I thought I would as well. Um, but yeah, he's there's still a lot of stuff that I didn't like on it. Trap's really still not my favorite thing, and um, there's a lot on there that I probably won't revisit. But Astro World and um, Utopia, or well, some of Utopia, um, were very good to me. And yeah, overall, I mean, if you want my more in-depth thoughts, again, go check out last week's episode. But yeah, I gave his discography overall a solid 7. So yeah, go check that out.
Cool, cool, cool. All right, I can kind of breeze through these a little bit more now. But one thing I listened to last week was "Bright Future" by Adrian Lenker. This is the lead singer of Big Thief. So
Oh
on
yeah, I
here,
wanted to check that one out.
yeah, on here there's a lot of. I listened to a lot of women and acoustic guitar albums this month, because that's kind of what this one is as well. But very, very, very pretty stuff. I love her voice a lot. And last night I did a listening of while reading the lyrics and stuff too. Definitely have a new
Mhm.
appreciation for her as a lyricist after doing that as well. And I need to start reading more lyrics along with Big Thief stuff. But very pretty, pretty sad at points, but it's a great listen. I don't love every moment of it. I do think it gets a little repetitive at points, but it's still really, really nice and definitely going to be up there in my favorites of the year. But yeah, I gave it. Well, hold on. Songs I liked. um, I like Sadness as a Gift quite a bit. I liked Evil a lot. And I think it was Free Treasure that I was also pretty into. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of great stuff. I gave it a decent 8 for now, but I could also see this being one that like significantly grows on me if I start getting more in my feels. Um, but we'll see. Um, yeah, and then after that, that Ortella by Maro, which that Portuguese album I talked about earlier, another singer songwriter, female vocalist. Really pretty, very good. I do think this one gets a little one note. It's very much stripped down to her voice and guitars for I think pretty much all of it. I think there might be some strings or something on one song. I don't remember. But it's also but it's very vibey and it's just really well done. But it is a little one note, so that's why I don't love it as much. But it is still very good. I have it at a strong 7, and I like the opener a lot. I remember Wahala, maybe. I don't know. I took Spanish, and it's kind of close to Portuguese. I don't
Is
know.
it 2 L's or?
No, it's oh shit! I clicked the wrong album. It is Oxala with a apostrophe above it. So I think Wahala, kind of like Oaxaca.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that sounds
Wahala. I don't know. Um, but yes, that's
all our Portuguese fans.
Yeah, I'm offending all of our Portuguese fans. You're right. Um, Lo siento. Uh, that actually probably would offend a Portuguese fan. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
probably.
I'm sorry. I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment.
Yeah, man. Crazy how you've been the one that has to
I
apologize. So.
know. We gotta get something out of you.
Yeah, I'll just say something really racist
Yeah.
someday.
I'll record you when we aren't on pod, and then they'll get you. Um, um, but next thing I listened to was Karma by Pharoah Sanders. Free jazz with a jazz band. Very spiritual, but very, very engaging all throughout. It's only 2 songs long, which I forgot to mention in my thing before, but the first song is 32 minutes. It's really, I don't know. It captures like this special little magic sound that is really nice. And if you're looking for some jazz, I think it's a good one to do. But so I guess my favorite song was the 32-minute song. The other one's 5.5 minutes, but it's also very good. But that song's called "The Creator Has a Master Plan." And yeah, it's a really really good listen, and I have it at like a decent 9. Very very good. And then on a similar note, last thing I listened to was "Trip to Brazil" by I Show Speed. Um, and Yeah, not that great.
Uh,
I know it's crazy. I actually didn't when I first mentioned this, I didn't hear your reaction because that's when your mic wasn't working or whatever.
oh,
Um,
okay.
but, uh, yeah, not like I said, not the worst thing I've heard from a YouTuber, but also it's not a high bar to pass. Yeah, I have it at a decent 3. I will say one thing I kind of respected about it is that he like tries going experimental. Like people were saying he like one of the top album of the year reviews is like he meets JPEG Mafia once and tries to make good music. So there's a few moments that do feel like off kilter, which is cool in concept, but also not done very well. But I don't know. And yeah, that concludes me.
Oh,
Bye bye. No. Um, but yeah. Well, I think we can get into the theme of this episode at 52 minutes into our episode. So, cool.
cool. All right. Well, let me share my screen real quick.
Okie dokie. We can probably go through these somewhat quicker because I don't have a lot to say about a lot of these artists. But
Yeah.
it's still interesting to talk about some people that we don't normally talk about. So.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty.
For sure.
That's not.
I'll
There
wait
it
to
is.
watch stream. And here I go. There we go. Oh,
Popular artists bracket.
yeah.
Our first matchup here is Post Malone versus Mac Miller.
You talk first.
All right. Well, I've listened to Post Malone a lot longer than I've listened to Mac Miller. But nothing from Post Malone has hit me as in the feels or just has been um, in constant rotation for me as nearly as much as Circles was in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The Post Malone song or the Mac Miller album?
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, I have a lot of love for Post Malone. I love him as an artist. He seems like a very fun and genuine person. He's been on Good Mythical Morning a few times.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's just very funny, and he makes pretty good music. But he's very capable of making some stinkers. And I haven't listened to a lot of Mac's discography, but Circles is enough for me to put him forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm in a similar place. I've listened to more of Post's discography than I have Mac's. I think from Mac, I've only listened to Swimming Circles and Faces. I believe that's it,
Yeah,
which are his highest rated ones. So maybe I'm slightly biased in that sense. But also similar to like you said, I don't think Post Malone's made anything that has been as good as most of the Mac Miller stuff I've heard. I do think "Stay" is a very good song from Post Malone.
Oh yeah.
And he has little gems in his stuff like all over the place. He's one of those artists that has a whole bunch of potential, but um, yeah, I do. This is very clearly Mac Miller for me here, but Post could have won over a lot of the people I suggested to be on this bracket. So, but yeah, it's Mac Miller for me.
Cool.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
All right. That work. Yes. So we got a very eclectic couple here. We got Ed Sheeran versus Travis Scott.
Can we get these both featured on a Taylor Swift song?
I hope so.
It needs to be the new Future and Ed Sheeran.
maybe Taylor will have some trap on Dead Poet Society or whatever.
Yeah, Dead Poet Society. Yeah, Tortured Artist Department, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, this actually is. No, it's not. I was gonna say it's a little difficult. I do feel like I'm a little softer on Ed Sheeran than a lot of people are. I honestly do think he sounds like pretty decent on most of the stuff I've heard from him. Like he makes pretty boring songs, but I do like his voice and I like the passion he puts into songs. But they are pretty bland at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I do think there's something there for him. And even though, like we just said with the Travis Scott, like I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I did grow kind of a new respect for him, a type of respect that I don't really have for Ed Sheeran at this moment.
Yeah.
Ed Sheeran has not made a 91210 or 90210.
Yeah.
So I think just because of that, it has to go to Travis for me here. I'm unfortunate. I actually was kind of rooting for my boy Ed a little bit, but my twin.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I'm not great. I'm not very big on Ed Sheeran. I don't like him very much. I've never really heard a song by him that I've been like, okay, yeah, this is pretty good.
Throwing that
Um,
Ed. Yeah.
I've always thought he just looks goofy and is a
Wow.
goofy person. But like, and like but he did make Shivers, which sounds like Among Us, so like that kind of makes me want to put him
Yeah.
forward.
The Ed
Um,
Sheeran Fortnite concert, Colin.
I know. Travis also had one, and it's
Oh, that's true.
he was the first, and
He was the first?
yeah, he was.
What the hell? That's weird.
I know, but yeah, and like I said in when we were talking about RS analysis and air RS analysis, Travis grew on me, and I enjoyed his stuff more than I thought I would. So I'm gonna put Travis forward as well. Rest in peace, Ed. But
Yeah, we just gotta wait for that Ed Sheeran artist analysis, and
oh yeah,
then he has
he
more
could go on
fans.
Wheel.
He sure could. That would be, dude. I would not be able to distinguish the albums like one after.
Next we got O'Rod versus Hosier.
Ooh. Oh, this is tough because I'm actually now I am fully versed on both of these artists.
Yeah.
So just to kind of talk through my thoughts right now, the reason why this is a little difficult is because Olivia Rodrigo is still so much newer, and I feel like her potential is extremely strong.
Yeah.
And I do think, well, and then Hosier is also an artist that I think, like I was saying when with his album last year and during our artist analysis, I'm really excited for what he does next because I think that'll be like really how I view him as an artist. Even though I love that album from last year. So they're kind of both in this state of like, I don't know. I'd like want to hear one more from each of them before making this decision.
Right.
I think at the moment though, mostly because of Hosier's album from last year, I do think I would put him over Orod right now, but it could be something that could change drastically in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I like Olivia Rodrigo a lot. I thought Sour was pretty good and Guts was okay, but um and it had some glowing moments on it. But yeah,
Yeah.
neither of those albums by her even come close to Unreal on Earth
Oh, that's right. You like
for
love
me.
that album. Yeah.
Yeah, I that one from first listen on that album. I was like, God damn,
Yeah.
this is good shit. Um, but Sour took me a little while, and Guts I'm still not huge on. So it's
Yeah.
um, yeah, Hosier. I love his voice a lot. Olivia Rodrigo has a great voice, but I love Hosier's vibe.
Yeah.
So cool.
Cool.
All right, so we got Dua Lipa versus Tyler the Creator.
Oh, this one just feels unfair. um, so, like Colin said in the intro, some of these will be artists that we have talked about on this channel quite a bit. Um,
Yeah.
I guess we haven't really talked about Tyler all that much, but whenever we have, like, we're pretty well versed in Tyler,
Yeah.
um, at least post Flower Boy Tyler, and yeah, I mean, I look, I like me some Dua Lipa. I do like her songs. I do. I've only heard the hits, but I've heard Future Nostalgia is a pretty good album.
Mhm.
Um, I know Riley from Hive Mind loves that album, uh, and yeah. But that being said, I mean Tyler the Creator, he has some classics already. Like he's modern day Mozart. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely Tyler.
Dope. Yeah. I mean, doesn't isn't Dua on Flower Boy? She's on Garden Shed, isn't she?
No, that's Estelle, I believe.
Oh, never
I
mind.
can pretty
I thought she
sure
was on.
she's not. I'm pretty sure.
Probably,
Yeah, it just has Estelle on it.
I'm talking about my ass. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, I've heard the hits from Dua as well, but I've never really looked into her stuff. I know that album that you said has good reviews and people like it a lot, but I've never
Mhm.
checked it out myself. But I do love me some Tyler.
Yeah.
So yeah, gotta be Tyler then.
It's pretty
Sorry, Dua.
simple. Yeah. It's kind of rigged from the start, do it, but it's okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
From the start, I should have said put Leve on this list. Oh
Uh,
well.
all right. Next, we got Harry Styles versus Billie Eilish.
Hmm.
I like Harry Styles a lot. I think that I love his self-titled album, and I really like Fine Line as well. Harry's House has some bangers on it, um, and things like that don't happen to people like him. But um, I,
I
I've
love you
loved.
just bringing that up every moment you can.
I mean, like say that. But uh, but yeah, I've really really liked Billy since before When We All Fall Asleep came out. Um, I love her music. I love all the stuff I've seen of her just personally. Like she just seems like a very fun person. She's also like our age, so it's very
Right.
cool to see someone be that big and successful and make good stuff. And just you know be there to be like, damn, I wish I was that cool. But but yeah, I love Billy's stuff a lot more than uh, I like Harry's stuff, and I do like Harry's stuff quite a bit. But
Yeah. Yeah, I think I mentioned it a few episodes ago, but Billie Eilish was like the first artist that I was like, well, the first like big mainstream person that was like, oh my gosh, she's younger than me. um, um, but yeah, I mean, if it hadn't been for Harry's House, which I do think is a fine album, this matchup would actually be somewhat close to me, honestly. I do like Billie Eilish's stuff a lot, but I do also I like her more for her highlights than some of the other stuff. Some of the lower parts on her record don't really connect with me as much, and I really just I don't know. I really prefer the ones that stand out more. Subi. But but that being said, Billy does have some fantastic songs, and she's teasing new music this year, and based off of I don't know, just the reception that like the song Happier Than Ever has gotten, and like how people enjoyed that Guitar Songs EP. I don't know. I'm really excited.
And
This.
what was it made for as
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah, for absolutely. Like she's really on a streak right now. And I'm very excited to see that album. But like I think also just as it stands, uh, Billie Eilish wins here as well.
Yeah.
But shout out to Harry Styles' first album because I actually
Oh, for
genuinely
sure.
think that's a very good album.
Yeah.
I actually like that album more than Billie's two so far. So I would say.
We got
Ooh,
Imagine Dragons versus Colin and
Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
All right. Um, did you see the things I put on my
Yeah.
story today?
What was that all about?
I don't know. I thought that was funny. For context, my mom and I were cleaning earlier today, and I had music playing from my Spotify. And I put a picture of like a Tame Impala, and like it's just Kevin Parker as their picture on the background of Spotify. And there's that whole joke of oh, do you know Tame Impala is actually one guy? Um, and so I put in the caption. Anyone know why there's only one guy for their Spotify picture? For Tame Impala, and then later on, 9 in the afternoon, by Panic at the Disco came out, and it's just a picture of Brendan Urie. I said, anyone know why Spotify only has one guy for the picture? I thought it was just really stupid, so I posted it.
It's very funny.
Anyways, um, definitely Tame Impala here.
Yeah.
Look, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Imagine Dragons were the band that got me into music, and I'll always respect them for that. I do think Night Visions and Smoke and Mirrors are pretty decent albums, even to this day. But yeah, I mean, Tame Impala just makes better music.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine Dragons was also kind of the start of me developing more music taste in high school. Just because I wanted to have something to talk about with you.
Yeah.
But like, I do enjoy Night Visions and Smoke and Mirrors. And a good amount of stuff off of Evolve too, but
Yeah.
you can't really forgive stuff like Origins.
Nope.
And yeah, Tame Impala, hey, Kev's great.
Mm-hmm.
He makes some good stuff, makes some rock and bass lines and synthy stuff, and
Oh yeah.
I still have yet to listen to a lot of his discography, but I'll probably just wait to do that until the analysis inevitably happens. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, hoping for a new album from him soon. I know that Imagine Dragons is teasing new stuff now,
Yeah, they
so
are. I forgot to mention that. It sounded
yeah.
not great.
Oh boy, I didn't hear any of
I heard
it.
a little snippet. I was like, oh, well, we haven't changed.
No character development.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tame Impala's got to move forward here.
Yeah. Imagine Dragons may not be the basis of your musical comeuppance, but it is the basis of our friendship. We were friends before Imagine Dragons.
All right, next we got Taylor Swift versus Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. It's kind of an interesting one. I I don't know. Lady Gaga definitely very much of her time. I feel like,
Um,
I think something like Bad Romance, like that, that's pretty generational. That I feel like that song has aged pretty well. I actually haven't listened to it in a while, so maybe that's a false statement. But I feel like a lot of her stuff I really just associate with the 2010s, like early 2010s.
for
Um,
sure.
and she's got some good stuff, but I don't know, like that Taylor Swift bracket, I really liked a lot of it, a lot more than I thought. And there was a couple albums on there that I thought were extremely good, especially Folklore. I actually love that album a lot.
Yeah,
That's probably going to be in my top of the decade, which is crazy to me.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I think I don't have as much exposure to Lady Gaga, but like I do have a little bit more of a connection to Taylor Swift, so I think that's why for her I'd choose her.
yeah. And I mean, hey, Lady Gaga, she's great.
Yeah.
A lot of my first I remember hearing Born This Way, Poker
Oh
Face,
yeah. Telephone. Or is that what it's
Telephone.
called? Yeah.
Yeah, telephone. Alejandro, stuff like that, all on the radio growing up, and I was like, this is good stuff. It's all bangers. It's all very fun. I've liked her in the movies I've seen her in.
I don't think I've seen a single one of her movies yet.
I think I've only seen House of Gucci, but and she gets railed by Kylo Ren in that one.
Oh,
But I'll see Joker too.
right. Yeah.
Uh, um, but yeah, she's the Fortnite artist right now. So
Mm.
uh,
Topical.
yeah, I do like Lady Gaga. She's
Yeah.
she has got a great message and a great personality, but that artist analysis for Taylor really it gave me a new respect for her as well.
Hmm.
I love folklore as you do. And there's a plenty of her stuff from her earlier days that are bangers as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, just I just have more exposure to Taylor as well. So this probably anger a few people.
Yeah. This one definitely is on the bias side again, but
But. All right, next we got a very very interesting matchup here. We got Kanye versus Mitski.
go check out both the artist analysis. Wow, that's a funny one.
Yeah.
Oh man, and I also feel really bad about it because for me, I liked Mitski. There was a lot of stuff I liked from her, but there's also quite a few Kanye albums I love. I'm sorry, he wasn't always a Nazi. Um, I, I'm just gonna say Kanye and shut my trap. I'm sorry.
um. So yeah, I like Kanye's old music. Um, I think that My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is a very, very good album. Um, but a lot of his stuff I just did not love a lot. I respect his ability to make music. At least I did. Um,
Same. Just throwing that out
um,
there.
and now he's making stuff like Vultures,
Hmm.
and being a Nazi. But uh, yeah, I just but like that Mitski artist analysis, I loved a lot of her discography. I had a really really good time with it. I think she's got a great you know style and voice, and I don't know. I know Kanye's got iconic stuff of his own, um, but I don't know. As it stands right now, I'm feeling Mitski.
All right. I actually find this a little interesting because I didn't even think about it until you started talking about how you felt about the Kanye artist analysis. But we kind of, this is kind of the battle of our, I don't know, just like how, like, I feel like the way we felt on these artist analysis was flip flopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
The Mitski one I wasn't quite feeling, but I still liked it. And the Kanye one you weren't quite feeling, but still liked it. And the
Yeah,
other one really liked it. So yeah, it's interesting. Um,
yeah,
I'm honestly fine with either of these moving on, but what we do when we get into a little kerfuffle here is we don't fight to the death, not yet. When we're in person, maybe,
yeah.
but we'll do a little verbal game of rock paper scissors. I will say rock paper scissors shoot, and then I will say one of the three, and so will Colin. And whoever I'm explaining rock paper scissors right now. Whoever wins has their pick go on, and then we will switch back and forth from here on forth for each disagreement. For whoever gets to take the matchup.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm gonna say shoot. Ready?
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot, scissors.
Paper.
Oh, I'm
Ooh.
sorry. I feel bad. Don't feel great about that one, but
Ooh. Um. All right. Next roundup here. We got Coldplay versus Mac Miller.
man,
Mac Miller.
yeah, I will. I will say there was When Mike the Snare did his Coldplay artist, not artist analysis, deep discog dive, no relation. Um, he there was one like Coldplay song that he like highlighted in particular, and I was on like a drive to Wisconsin, and I listened to it, and I thought it was very good. I think it was called like Arabesque or something. But I've also heard the Coldplay stuff that's not very good. So yes, Mac Miller.
Yeah. I've never checked out Coldplay. I know their older stuff people like a lot.
Hmm.
I like Viva La Vida.
Yeah,
I'm more familiar with the Minecraft parody, but
of course. It's because you're
it's
cultured.
yes,
Yeah.
but it's Mac. Yeah,
Do we have Coldplay on the wheel?
I think so.
Okay. We probably should if we don't, because I do think Coldplay is fine. like I like some of their stuff.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Next we got Ariana Grande versus
Ooh,
Travis.
another Fortnite matchup. Um,
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't really like Ariana Grande. I think she has a pretty voice. I haven't hated some of the songs that I've heard from her. Um, I liked her on Victorious. Um, but I don't know. I've also just never listened to an Ariana Grande album. Um, and I don't know. I have listened to a Travis Scott album, so
you sure
I
have.
guess I'll go. I guess I'll go Travis Scott. But
Yeah, this one's a little tough for me, honestly. Because I don't know. I don't really believe in guilty pleasures when it comes to music and stuff like that. But if I were to believe in that, Ariana Grande would maybe be there for me. I don't know why. I really just all of her pop hits and stuff, except for Seven Rings. I'm not a big fan of Seven Rings. But like basically everything else that's come into the mainstream pop sound, I really like from her. I don't know. I really like her energy and her voice for some reason. I think it's just, I think she has some really great stuff. But I also have not listened to a full album from her, so I don't exactly know the consistency. But I do know Travis Scott's consistency. So it's like, it's a weird matchup for me. And honestly, I kind of am feeling Ari here. Just because I really do like her hits a lot. I do. I Yeah. I don't know. Don't judge me. um, but you do win this matchup though.
yeah, I don't know.
So
Well, sorry, Ariana Grande. Could have been topical with Ari versus Mac, but
oh yeah, we could have. Well, we still have a
uh,
chance for Taylor versus Kanye. So
oh, yeah, that's
um,
true.
oh wow.
All right. 420. Next we got Justin Bieber versus Hosier.
Now hear me out. Hosier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin, I've never connected with any of his music, never really enjoyed it. I mean, I love Yummy, obviously, but
Of course.
it stacks up itself against Hosier's last album, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's got to be Hosier, I guess.
Yeah, there was some Justin Bieber stuff like around 2015 that I think were kind of okay. Like Love Yourself, I think is a pretty good song. And what was that other one? Sorry. I think Sorry
uh,
is okay. And apparently that album was just kind of all right. But yeah, he's not done great stuff since then. Or before then.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh man.
yeah. All right, we got Drake versus Tyler, the Creator.
The big three here. Tyler
Yeah.
and the creator. Um, uh, Tyler and God. um, well, I've also actually have I listened to a Drake album? I may have listened to Scorpion when it came out just because I was curious. Um, yeah, Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I have never listened to a Drake album. I've heard Hotline Bling like once or twice. Um,
Sorry, that's just a funny sentence. I've heard Hotline Bling.
um, but yeah, I love me some Tyler. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe once the Drake artist analysis comes around, I'll have my mind change. But
Yeah, I'll put it this way: the Drake artist analysis is not what I'm looking forward to.
very long, and it keeps getting longer every day.
Yeah. Ooh.
All right, now we got a couple big hitters. We got the weekend. There's Billie Eilish.
You go, because I need to think.
Um, I enjoy the weekend. I've enjoyed almost everything I've heard from him. Really, I love .fm. I really like After Hours, um, but that's really where my experience with him ends. I've never listened to his old albums. I've heard parts, bits and pieces. Obviously, his big hits, the Hills, Can't Feel My Face, stuff like that. I love his voice. I love his features on a lot of songs that I've enjoyed from other artists. But uh, and I think that he's got a great presence and a great career. And it's probably I don't know. But I don't. Billy has always just been an artist that I go back to since like we were in high school. So it's like it's hard to get over that hump um, for me. But I do love the weekend. I do love a lot of the stuff that I've heard from him. But I don't know. I'm feeling Billy just because that's who I have more experience with.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a weird one for me because I think I feel like pretty much exactly the same about these artists. Like, I think they're both good and have like fantastic moments, but I don't love on a consistent basis. Um, I don't know. I honestly think I feel almost a little bad for this because I think my entire opinion would change if I had heard some of the weekend's earlier stuff. I think that would bring me either more for him or more against him, depending on that.
Right.
Because I know people enjoy those early albums a lot. Um, but yeah, I love After Hours a lot. But I love things like Happier Than Ever, the song, a lot too, and also like the 30th or some of the more stripped back moments on her last two records. I really connect with those more, and I think that's kind of what's bringing me more towards Billie is just I tend to connect with her more, even though I think After Hours is a fantastic album that has some great moments on it. I don't really connect to it per se, and that connection is important to me with music. So I think because of that, I would have to go with Billie.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that was a tough one though.
Yeah, I feel it. But again, we'll see what happens when we get to that analysis as well.
True.
All right. Next we got Joji versus Tame Impala.
Look,
Tame
Joji. Yeah.
Impala.
That's just word of advice. Well, not word of advice, but Joji, if you're watching this, no. I think if the hits were the only thing on Nectar by Joji, and that was how he sounded all the time, there'd be a conversation here. But that's not the reality we're in. It's Tame Impala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a good bit of Joji.
Yeah.
I really liked Die for You off of whatever the fuck
Smithereens.
that.
Yeah.
But,
Ooh.
Nectar as well, but
Yeah.
Tame Impala is just genuinely good. So,
Yep.
but all right, next matchup we got Bruno Mars versus Taylor Swift.
This is also a little bit of a hard one. Um, it's one that I don't have too much experience with Bruno is the problem. Like I
Yeah.
love him in Silk Sonic, and I think a few of his pop songs are like really good too.
Mhm.
Like Uptown Funk is kind of one of those songs that yeah, it's overplayed as hell, but you know what? Still pretty good. um, um, and he has done quite a few of those as of late with his career. But I also just don't really I don't know. I've heard his albums are a little, his solo albums at least are. It's kind of single stacked, so the singles are really good, but the other stuff isn't. But I don't know that for sure, so I'm not basing it off that. But just, you know, I don't know. Um, Definitely a bit of bias here, but I think Taylor does slightly uh, edge him out here for me. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't really
Yeah,
have much to say other than that, honestly. Yeah.
yeah. Like he's, I love Silk Sonic. I think he's got a great voice, a great presence. I like his big hits. Grenade is one
Oh
back from
yeah.
back in the day that ooh, great shit. Billionaire I liked a
I
lot
was gonna say.
when
I
I
was
was
gonna say that too. It's even older.
yeah. And I was an uptown hunk uptown funk uh, hater uh, for a while because it was just so overplayed and it annoyed the fuck out of me with how much we heard it just in
Yeah.
gym.
Oh yeah, that's
Um,
right.
but it it's grown on me a little bit nowadays. But yeah, I don't have much exposure to him album wise, so it's yeah. But Taylor, I love Evermore, or not Evermore, Folklore,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I like Evermore a lot. But
Yeah. Same
but yeah,
here.
Taylor, you send one for me as well.
All right.
All right, next we got Kanye versus Lil Nas X.
Um. Ooh. Once again, this feels wrong. This time for different reasons.
Yeah,
Um, but I think Lil Nas X has some great stuff. Industry Baby, I think, is a fantastic song. I think, what was the other big hit? Montero. I think Montero is great. The song. And I think there are other great highlights on that album. Um, but he still has a lot of growing to do as a consistent artist, in my opinion. Especially the last couple of things he's been releasing for whatever albums coming up next. They've just kind of been okay. Um, but I do like Lil Nas X. But to me, it's not even close to Kanye, which feels very wrong again. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I agree. I'm glad Lil Nas X wasn't just a flash in the
me
pan,
too.
one hit wonder kind of person. I think that he's got a lot of potential going forward. And I do love those big hits like Montero and Industry Baby, and I love Sun Goes Down as well.
Yeah.
Uh, but you know, we'll we'll see how he goes in the future. But yeah, Kanye does have more more bang for his buck than Lil Nas X. Um, don't like Kanye.
Yep.
That's okay.
We just got to keep reiterating that.
Yes, he's just a popular artist. He's just a popular artist.
Oh God, I saw the next round. we'll we'll get there when we get there. All right, now we are all people we've talked about, so we don't have to give background as much, but
Mac versus Travis. Mac.
yes, I'm glad you agree with that one. Yeah, once again, haven't
Yeah,
listened to everything from Mac, but the three albums I've listened to from him are better than all the Travis Scott albums I've listened to. So
for sure.
yeah,
All right. Hosier versus Tyler the Creator.
it's a pretty
Ty-
easy one. Yeah, okay.
yeah,
Agreed again. I was gonna say pretty easy one for me.
yeah. It
Hosier's
was
great, but not at the Tyler level yet. He could get
no.
there. He could get there.
All right. So yeah, Billy versus Tame Impala. Hmm.
Hmm. Billy keeps getting matched up with people that I think almost exactly the same about.
Yeah,
Um, these are both artists that I like really love the highs of, but also they have a lot of things that I'm a little like in the middle on.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um, for me, it's Billy. Like I said, I'm more connected to her and her music. Um, but I do love a lot of Tame Impala stuff.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
You're
Um,
good.
I I think I might have to go to Tame Impala for me here, honestly. I do like I've been saying like a lot of Billy stuff, but I do think at this moment Tame Impala has released more consistently things I enjoy.
Okay.
Um, but it's a very, very close one for me. And the next Billie album could have put her over here, honestly. Um,
Okay.
so
Is that you?
I think it is me.
All right. Sorry, Billy. That's all
Sorry,
right.
Billy. Check out the
All
Billy
right.
bracket.
Check out the. All right.
There we go. This is what gets the views. Um,
Yeah. Taylor Swift versus
I actually
Kanye.
don't know my answer. I gotta be honest with you. Um,
Um. Yeah, I think overall I enjoyed Taylor's discography more than I enjoyed Kanye's. Um, but thinking back on it, I can't remember all of it because Kanye's was a long time ago and Taylor's was very long. So, um, but I do think that I had a better time overall with Taylor. There were a lot of stinkers and reputation's bad.
yeah,
Um, but Kanye has stuff that I didn't quite like 808s, and um, I don't think I love Life of Pablo either. But
hmm
I don't know. Part of me just doesn't want Kanye to move on, but I feel like
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Hmm.
I, if you don't mind me taking the
Yeah, no,
floor,
go ahead.
um, I feel very similar, and it's weird because they have around the same length of their discographies, both like 10 plus albums. Um, and while I do think Kanye has more albums that I like than Taylor out, like in terms of like really like and love, than Taylor albums, he also has more albums I don't like than Taylor.
Yeah.
Like Reputation was not great, but I do believe I have both Jesus is King and Vultures One beneath it.
Oh,
So it's like, and really with Taylor it was, well, actually I did give a lot of her albums like in the '60s or something. She was very '60s and '70s for me. Uh, I don't know. I do I hate saying it, but you know, I do think the highs of Kanye, even album wise, both song and album wise for me, are higher than Taylor. Unfortunately, if Taylor had more folklores, bro, I would be so happy. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of her stuff did kind of fall in the mid range for me, and I do think the majority of Kanye's albums are like at least in the good range for me. So
yeah.
unfortunately, I think that's what I have to go with.
Yeah. I don't know. The more I think about it, I do think about My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy and just just some of his other bangers. And it's difficult to say, but yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna let you finish, but
Well, Kanye's the
yeah,
best artist in the
I
world.
do think has to kind of move on.
All right, now we're going viral for the wrong reasons.
Uh,
Um,
Broken Boys, Broken Nazis.
we got to re. Oh man.
Mac versus Tyler.
Mm. Well, I do love those three Mac Miller albums that I've listened to. Um, I do think at this point Tyler has released similar quality, if not better, than them. So for
Yeah,
me, it has to go to Tyler. Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out back though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I love Circles. Circles is fantastic. We both love Circles.
Yeah.
Um, I also love swimming, but I love Flower Boy, Igor, and Call Me If You Get Lost, and I listen to those like on a much more um, consistent basis than most of Mac's stuff that
Yeah.
I've listened to at least. So it's um, yeah, I think I go with Tyler here too, but who's that? Mac, I feel like is going to grow on me a lot once we get to that analysis as well.
Yeah. That'll be a long one, but yes, it's very possible.
All right. So we got Tame Impala versus Kanye.
Mm.
maybe, maybe we should have. You should, not like that. He's just a popular artist. He's just a popular artist.
He's just an artist. Hitler was just an artist.
Oh God!
I'm
No,
sorry.
no,
I'm sorry. um, okay, so here's the thing, right? Part of the reason I made that noise, I don't even know if that got picked up by Discord, by a little Marge Simpson grunt that I made, pretty much. But part of what makes this difficult is I feel like if you watered down both of these if you got the average score of their albums for me for both of these
yeah,
artists, I think it'd be around the same number. Like I really do. Like I think the
yeah,
highs of Kanye and the lows of Kanye would even out into the pretty consistent goodness of Tame Impala.
yeah.
um, I'm sorry, it has to be Kanye.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I love Tame Impala. I love Currents. Um, but I don't have a lot of experience with more than half of his albums. So,
I do.
uh, yeah, yeah. But all right, okay. Get up there, you son of a bitch. Rest in peace, Donda, I guess. But
Yeah,
hey, all right, our final
Tyler the
matchup.
Creator.
Tyler.
Tyler the Creator.
Finally, thank you, God.
Tyler, your early work is not great, but we forgive you.
You haven't done nearly as many bad things as Kanye has. Or
Tyler and Kanye's careers are flipped right now.
Tyler, don't do anything there.
Yeah.
You've done some. You did some. You said some shitty things in the past, but
And your age range and partners is a little questionable sometimes. But
you're
yeah.
not a Nazi. So
That is so true.
hey, um, Tyler the Creator wins our popular artist bracket.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, that went swimmingly.
It did.
Well, not our longest bracket. We're only at like an hour and a half, so that's good. That was good timing.
Yeah.
All right. Unless you got anything to add on, I think we can move into song of the week.
Yeah, I'm good
You
to
are
do
up.
that. All right. Well, pretty predictable this week. But I am gonna go with Next Semester by 21 Pilots.
Woo!
All right, that was Next Semester by 21 Pilots. What do you think, Mike?
5 out of 10. No, it's forgot to scold Brad for that score. Um,
Thank
but
goodness.
yeah, no, the song's great. I mean, we talked a bunch about it. I think you mentioned it, but I don't think I did. But the vocals on here are just so good. That's another thing that reminds me of like pre Blurry Face. Like the vocals on here, just the way he's kind of yelling some of the lyrics in the chorus are very vessel coded. It really has the vibes of their old music while also doing a sound that they haven't really done before, which is just it's cool. It's a really cool combination, and I think honestly I'm liking that song each time I listen to it more. So
Yeah,
yeah,
seriously. I love the in that final little softer part with the ukulele. I love at the end of the last word of each sentence the little repeated thing that happens.
oh,
Um,
is it just like an echo or something?
yeah, it's just a little
Yeah,
echo.
yeah.
Like it's like weird and repetitive, and it's like electronic. And it just yeah, it's very good. I love it a lot.
I don't think I've heard that
Very
detail before. I need to keep an ear out for that next time.
yeah. There was also something I heard in Overcompensate that I hadn't really noticed beforehand before listening this week, but like the in that last in the last little part where he's repeating the 300 tracks in my Adidas track jacket.
Yeah,
There's like a little like flute or whistle or something like
yeah.
that, and I was like, "Ooh, I like that. I didn't notice that."
Yeah, I've been picking up on that one for a while. I really like that little flute. Yeah,
Yeah, cool. Well, what do you
cool.
got for us?
Yeah, well, I mentioned this last week that I had a song for last week, but
Right.
Travis Scott, no, I did like 90210 more than this, but still, um, Willow of, you know, uh, Will Smith. Sorry, I forgot his name. Of Will Smith and
Willow of Smith, the Smith family.
Willow of the Smith family. Um, she had an album that ripped off my album in the same year called Coping Mechanism, and we still
Yeah.
have some beef over that. But she released a song recently that I thought was actually very good,
Oh,
and has me really excited to see if she does a whole album in this sound. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the new song from Willow called "Symptom of Life."
cool.
Feeling absence of time, knowing all is decided.
That was "Symptom of Life" by Willow. What did you think of that, Colin?
That was very, very good. Very different from anything I've heard from her before. She's recently been on this like punky kind of rock kick, but that was very, very different, and I think that it fits her voice and style like very, very well. I honestly love that song. It was very good.
Yeah.
Caught me by surprise. I would love to hear a whole album from that in that style, but yeah, very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I liked her album, Coping Mechanism. I thought there was some great stuff on there. And but like that was pulling a lot from metal, while this is almost feel like it's pulling from like Radiohead or something. Like it's got like just like this really insane groove to it that's really
Yeah,
good. The drums are fantastic, the bass is fantastic, and then my nerdy ass is loving the chords and the time signatures happening. Like it's like this really complex pop song, and I'm just huge into that kind of stuff, and she does that so well, and her vocals are great on it. I'm like, damn, where did this come from? This is just like
yeah,
insanely good. So yeah, I definitely wanted to give that a shout out. So yeah,
yeah. Thank you. Good stuff. Very good.
yeah, of course. Cool.
Cool.
Well, you got anything else for us, or I think we can
Uh,
do a
Not
little
really.
wrap?
Yeah,
Cool.
let's wrap. Let's wrap.
We tried doing that once, and that was a very bad thing, or at least I did. Um, but we can wrap with a W. Cool. Well, if you're listening on streaming services, thank you very much. We really
Thank you.
appreciate that. We love you to death, as we always say. And you can come on over to YouTube and see our beautiful profile pictures. You can see Clancy or Clancy. Um, got the two versions here with a nice. Honestly, this week we got a really nice blue and orange-ish red like combo on the screen. So it's actually kind of a cool color palette. So come check that out over on YouTube under the same name, Broken Boys, capital NBOIS, where you can see that, and you can also see some Song of the Week playlists, where you can see Next Semester by 21 Pilots, or you can see Symptom of Life by Willow. Those are in 2 of 3 playlists down there. We got one playlist for myself, we got one for Colin, and we got one for both of our songs combined, both of our stuff combined, along with all the guests that we have on our show frequently. And yeah, it's a great time coming up on 1 day of music. So you, you got some time to catch up before next week. So better. I'm expecting a report back in the comments down below. In-depth analysis of each track. But yeah, go check those out. And then we also got some personal stuff down there. I got my diary down there. But also I have music under the name Plaintive. Um, I have an album, Coping Mechanism, that I mentioned just
Yeah.
a second ago. Go
I'll
check that
listen to
out.
that.
Yep, new music on the way, working on
Oh
it,
yeah.
and I'm liking it. I'm loving it. Even I think
Oh
that might
shit.
that
Donald.
yeah, I was gonna say that might be copyrighted, but You know what? um, but go check out those. Get caught up on your plane of lore. I also have a YouTube page that you should keep an eye on for a piano cover that may or may not be Leve or may or may not be something else we talked about this week.
Oh.
But I should stop making promises. But it's it's
You gotta get those views, Mike. Get those 21 Pilots
I
covers
know,
out.
I
Get them
know,
out. Get them
I know, I know. Get them out of me. They're buried within. But yeah.
Where's the fucking trench medley?
Dude,
Huh?
where's the blurry face medley, bro? um, I did a whole ass stream of that in like 2020, I think, of working on the blurry face medley. And I think that was the last time I touched it. So it's bad. But go check it out. It's good content. I just care a lot about it. But my Instagram's down there along with my album of the year page. My last review I have has 0 likes, and I would have a smile on my face if you liked it. And um, but I rate and review music over there. And I think that's it for me. Proximity. Oh man. I'm a semester away from you.
Behind you, or
No, I'm in the next semester, so I'm the semester ahead of them.
it's kind of breaking tradition.
Fine, I'm stupid. I'm the semester behind them. You get 2 next semesters this week, whatever. And Colin over here, Mr. Greedy, he runs our socials. He runs our Twitter where he updates when videos are posts, and he runs our TikTok where he posts little funny videos that we like to do. Just for TikTok. And yeah, he also has an album of the year page where he rates and reviews music, as well as a letterbox where he rates and reviews movies. Any new movies on there?
New movies, but I did review next semester on my and album of the year.
Definitely
And
go check that out. Like that.
Would you like to hear it right now?
Absolutely.
All right. I said, it's crazy how Clancy is already hitting us with songs about specific suicide attempts and transcending genres that the band has never really explored before. I am far from a scaled and icy hater, but hearing songs like this and then Saturday popping on right after is quite jarring. Yeah, true story. I had them on shuffle. I played next semester, and then Saturday started right after, and I was like, whoa.
Saturday is a very jarring song in their discography for sure. And I still don't know if it's a good jarring or bad jarring. I go back and forth.
That's got 3 likes though.
So. Yeah, it's about to have 4. I'm going there after this. But yeah, no, that's great. I think my review was basically just like Tyler's really popping the fuck off with the choruses this era, which is true. I mean, Overcompensate chorus and this chorus are some of the best we've heard from them in a long time. So
yeah.
And then Colin also has an Instagram review page. I didn't forget about that.
Sure. Fancy review coming soon.
Absolutely. It's a great return. But go check out all of those things. And what's your proximity to the viewer, Colin?
I'm in front of them in the middle of the road. Deer in the headlights. Just I don't know if I'm gonna jump out of the way, but I'm here right in front of them in the middle of the road.
So you made me degrade my intelligence by a year just so you could stand in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And what's gonna happen? What can they do, Colin, to do the thing?
Well, they could either get out of the car, or I can just jump and hit their windshield, and try to break through to, give them a hug from in front. Mike's gonna have to travel to the future, I guess. He could have been in the back of the car or anything, but he chose last semester for some reason. And once Mike teleports or time travels,
I get out
he'll
my
end up
DeLorean.
he'll end up in the back of your car. As I get through the windshield, or you get out of the car, both of you get out of the car. You're gonna try to console me, but what it's really gonna be about is the fan. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna all get into one big hug. Mike from behind, me from in front, and I'm gonna have to lift up the Clancy mask a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but and it's gonna be stained with tears. But
You're staying
we're
with something
going.
else soon.
Oh shit! Blood from you from your anger towards me? Or?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, that's what I was going for.
um, but yeah, we're going to. Me and Mike are going to kiss violently next to your dear viewer. And that's what we like to call a love cage. And you can get your very own by dropping your address in the comments below.
Mm-hmm.
We will find you.
Oh, I do have one question.
Yeah.
Is the car in motion during this entire love cage?
Well, it depends. It depends on if the viewer decides to stop or I jump through the windshield. But either way, it's gonna be good. It's always good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
If it's anything like the street in the music video, it's gonna be nighttime and nobody else is gonna be there. So we'll be safe
Yeah.
as long as the viewer hits the brakes, unless they have a kink for
reckless driving. Reckless driving. Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, you can get yours by dropping your address in the comments below. We'll find you. You won't know when, you won't know where, but we'll get to you, and you'll love it.
Yeah. Well, this has been Kinky Reckless Driving, and
yep,
that's all. And, we'll see you next week, maybe.
Maybe we'll see if the reckless driving takes us out by then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go chug another cold one and then get back in my DeLorean. Cool.
All right, Stan.
See you in the future.